Every once in a while, an idea comes around that is so phenomenal that it changes the course of millions of lives. Of late, this can be said about the face mask, a simple invention that has protected an uncountable number of people from getting infected during the coronavirus pandemic. But about 60 years ago, the world became a much safer place thanks to Volvo. In 1959, Nils Bohlin, an engineer at Volvo, invented the three-point seatbelt that is present literally everywhere in today's day and age. No car comes without it. This is Siddhant, and welcome to Let's Do Shots. The concept of the seatbelt has been around for centuries. Prior to 1959, only two-point lap seatbelts were available in cars. These were similar to the seatbelt you see in airplanes today. The belt crosses over your lap and locks in place. It keeps your lower body in place, but your upper body is still free. So if you were to experience a car crash, your head and chest are still vulnerable to injuries. In fact, Volvo's motivation to increase safety measures on cars was motivated by the death of their CEO's family member in a car crash. In 1958, Volvo hired their first chief safety engineer, Nils Bohlin, and within a year, he developed the three-point seatbelt design that you see in all cars today. The new belts secured both the upper and lower body. It was introduced in all Volvo cars, and Volvo became the first company to standardize it. Seems like a brilliant invention, right? Everyone would have been delighted with it, right? Wrong. When the company introduced the three-point seatbelt to the world back in the day, the reactions from the public and the media weren't very different from the reactions we've seen with the face mask. People were outraged and said the most ridiculous things. The seatbelt is a violation of human rights. It's better to be thrown out than to be trapped inside. No one can tell me what to do with life. Wearing a seatbelt is a terrible idea. Seems shocking, doesn't it? Putting on the seatbelt after getting into the car is second nature to us today. It's such a no-brainer. Maybe 60 years down the line, people in 2080 will say the same about us wearing masks. Yikes. Getting back to the story. Volvo had made a major breakthrough in car safety. Innovations like this cost a great deal of research and can cost millions of dollars. They would have gone to great lengths to test the efficacy of this invention. They would have run hundreds of experiments and researched thousands of accidents. So naturally, they patented the unique design. When a design is patented, it gives its owner exclusive rights on it. So any other automobile maker who wanted to use the design would have to pay the license fees. This was the standard practice in the industry. But turns out, Volvo had a heart of gold. Volvo could have made huge profits from this invention. They could have charged their competitors an exorbitant fee, or just not given their competitors the design and promoted their cars as the safest cars on the road. But the company opened the patent and gifted it to other car manufacturers for free. And the rest is history. In America, the three-point seatbelt was a mandatory requirement in all cars 1968 onwards. In India, it became mandatory for front seats in 1994 and for rear seats in 2002. So you've ensured that the car comes with the safest seatbelt, but what about making passengers use it? Even today, only the driver and the co-passenger in the front seat are seen wearing the seatbelt in India. The reason is pretty straightforward. There's a fine of 1000 rupees if you don't. But there's no such law or fine for passengers in the rear seat. As a result, it never caught up. It takes only 2 seconds to put on a seatbelt. Using a seatbelt can mean the difference between life and death. Remember Princess Diana's fatal car crash in Paris? According to reports, nobody in the car was wearing seatbelts except for Dodi Fayed's bodyguard Trevor Rees-Jones, who was the sole survivor of the crash. Today, wearing a seatbelt is not just required by the law but has become a cultural norm globally. With this invention, Volvo has saved more than 1 million lives to date and is recognized as the leader in car safety. In 2020, the company introduced a speed limit in all its new cars. It also has plans of introducing in-car cameras to prevent intoxicated and distracted driving, so they can save 1 million more.